So I've been looking at risks in terms of the field that I'm experienced in and that I hold a lot of knowledge in. Um, After experiencing this internally with the energy major environment, and as well as experience it now for near on 3 years, coming into 3 years, from a community aspect and how that all reflects back into a group strategy, because essentially the energy majors don't really have businesses unless they can sustain with data, and there is a certain high quality that is needed within that data. So the current two objectives that should be everybody's focuses right now between a supply and demand relationship is one from a social housing aspect, so whether that be a local authority that is stockholding or a housing association, no matter what size, because you all count, is the landlord SAP targets coming into 2017. Bearing in mind we're now back end of 2015, and that also then reflects to the energy company's own obligations, which helps them support and accelerate their strategies over and above 2020. And of course, both parties, when combined the right way, enable a process to happen that effectively delivers the ambitions and areas that have been set out by government, and also protects the public in terms of any risk that would be liable should the energy companies fail. So the obligated ones that are, well advanced and knowledgeable in their domain of governance and process themselves, and how that applies to other arms of government and regulation. So they are really important to the economy, and we shouldn't dismiss that. Housing sector, of course, hold the key to that acceleration, and always have done, and something that I was quite avid about when I worked in that environment, that, when you're asked a question, who's the customers, Helen, and you answer with housing associations and local authorities, the key to that being is they look after what is called the data, to enable a group strategy from an energy major in terms of all of its P&L divisions to apply their methods and their best resources and best buying power and best procuring and best legal activities, compliance and governance, etc., to net a community and deliver a strategy, including its awareness, and how that is then penetrated through a cyclical event, which is supported by local authorities and their community obligations, and something that obviously with that gap that we all know about has caused a little bit of a problem in enabling the two parties to have a relationship. And I've always said it is a relationship. It's not a money-grabbing machine. It has to be clear and it has to be transparent. And that's something that, not in all cases, but in most cases hasn't happened. And something that I was avid about in one of my final projects that I delivered when I worked at a former energy company was to enable the energy company with their best quality and in-house internal delivery teams to integrate in effect with the combination of capital works runs that are managed internally in most cases by the relevant skill sets within those businesses, within those housing associations, and having spent quite a long time out in market, up and down the country, seeing various different housing associations and speaking to councillors and speaking to the community, it's become transparent to me that all the benefits that I know of that an energy company is able to do across the board is not being delivered into that community. And that's because within the regulation, there hasn't been a very, simple caveat that explains that the two parties must have a relationship, and any transaction of money to do with carbon or kilowatt has to be cemented by that relationship. As if anything as commercial comes into that, it does depreciate the value of that transaction. So yeah, it is, in my mind, a large-scale asset management strategy for the UK, and I do have very specific areas that I want to ignite the process in terms of from the east, the west, and catering for a Midlands to form what I class as a pyramid, which then allows other information to just, filter in and create almost like this effect that myself and one of the Virgin Group mentors had a little bit of a conversation about in early 2014 at a really nice cafe on Chester Road, so Streatley Way, which is local to me. And I've kind of had to go through the process that I've gone through, because in my own mind I knew what I was trying to achieve is correct. But it's also wanting to ensure that all the other factors within inside that pyramid that creates other pyramids, and there is only a small number because you have EP, asset owner, and then what I call SUPMAN is supply and manufacturing. And the nits between those pyramids are the organisations that get on housing associations and local authorities procuring infrastructures to enable the energy companies to then source within their integration and strategy to be able to bring in small to medium enterprises and create that economy. So what I plan to do is work from my database, which I've built through my career, since I was 18 years of age, which predominantly I've worked with housing associations and local authorities, and other industries, including production, manufacturing. While short stints, that's all I needed to collate the knowledge that I needed at that time, which is all relevant to now, to begin a formula to deliver something really good, and keep everybody happy, which will make me happy, and busy, which is genuinely what I want to be doing, is being kept busy in gym. That's how everything I see in my mind. So we all know there's risks, but doing it this way does actually caveat out the risks and apply any minimal risks to the right and relevant parties of that relationship. Equally, by allowing the energy companies to utilise their own internal delivery in terms of integration into capital works and investment programmes and sustainability and low carbon community, which is what they're built and defined to do, instead of middle market approaching that and bringing in that commercialisation. While there is commercialisation there is no need for commercialisation with commercialisation with commercialisation, which creates that gap. There's no need for it when there is a supply and demand that have a procuring pyramid that actually can sink and sink and sink and work to flow the money out into what I see the base of the pyramid, where all the really nice things need to happen, and that money makes that difference. So I'm really excited. So on the 5th of January, by the 4th, I shall be meeting a colleague of mine to just sense check everything that I'm doing. And on the 5th, I will be sending out a video to my selected number of the database, which a lot of you are connected in with me via LinkedIn, and I do think LinkedIn is an extremely good mechanism to actually having a much greater reach in terms of lots of variants of things. It's not just about the industry that I work in, it's about how I can apply those processes to other industries and other things that are happening and stuff that's going on and things that I find interesting. So, you know, LinkedIn has proved very valuable to me through the entire time that I've been utilising it since October. And funny enough, after I left my former employer, that's Teddy just alerted me that someone's walking past the house, which I have used it, and I've only used it since I left the organisation that I used to work for, and I built up a further database from that, obviously, which will be utilised through the LinkedIn. So the video will be coming through that mechanism, because I think it is a good communication relationship management platform that could be integrated further with other things that I've looked at, and change the face of the way people do business, and free up time more so that people can be a bit more flexible in their own domains of skill sets. So while that might have slightly diverted off track a little bit, that's the plan, and I sit in the Midlands, so I sit in the middle of that pyramid, which is extremely important, because I think there's been a lot of focus down in London, and maybe not so much in the Midlands, which could help, you know, anything up from Birmingham upwards, and, you know, just create stimulation, because there isn't any at the moment in the UK. It's a bit runny gravy over fries, as I see it, and then, as I think I explained the other day, you get the fork and then you only get some bits, and it's just, it's pointless. So that's the plan. Hopefully some of you that aren't frequent users on LinkedIn will get that through on your emails that are associated to your LinkedIn accounts. So for obviously data protection reasons, I'm just letting you know that. And if there is anybody currently within the housing sector that would like to start the process in terms of letting me know that you're interested in a process that will help risk assess everything in terms of your total assets, which is needed, especially with the recent, you know, the cuts and things that are going on. We need to find some cash, which is really important to you know, your mission and care statements. So if you do, then you just need to send me a text message. Those that do go through the entire process, hopefully running up until March 2016, to get you fit for that short period of run that is needed, then what I suggest is I will be refunding those text messages through that process, but it won't be until you've got your relationship direct with an energy major, one or two, depends on your size, because that's how it works. It is important that we need to ensure that the energy majors get clean asset information, because they have the key to giving you returns on CO2 and kilowatt returns. And moving away from the insecurity of financing, which can still happen, but obviously it would only happen when they've got clarity of the returns that they're going to get before they commit to anything as a housing association or local authority, because historically a lot of that's gone on, not direct, and you know, the full clear money hasn't been coming back into the hands that are supposed to be sending that money into the community for the benefits that it is put there for the purpose of government. So I'm really keen to just make things happen. That's all I'm really interested in, because there's lots of other brains and skills out there that then complement that cycle and just get on with it. Once you've got clarity in the site and what you need and the information, and you know what you're doing, then it's simply, if there's a problem on anything that gets combined into a relationship integrated with an energy major, housing sector and local authorities have me really to give a call, and I don't mind popping out and having a little mooch and just letting everyone know what isn't going right on anything, if that does happen, which I doubt it will, if they get what they need. So key holders, you are key holders, you're very important, and you need to start understanding the value of what your assets means to a lot of things that happen in terms of an economy, rather than being sold a dream and not getting that gold and that glitter at the end of it. So I put a lot of time into this. So it'd be nice to see at least the 7 that I know are all plotting away at the moment, in chill out mode, because it's coming up to Christmas and they all know what I'm like. There's 7 there, and the rest of it naturally will migrate. It will be like the old saying used to go in the energy provider environment, moth to light effect, which everyone naturally gravitates to something that, makes a change, is new, isn't styloed, isn't boring, and allows everybody to be productive. So, let's not just all look at the new energy world, designs of the energy majors. Let's make it happen so that I can crack on with other things that I want to do. So I hope everyone does have a nice Christmas. I may do another video tomorrow, I don't know, because I have got, funny enough, a Santa's hat and outfit that I think would be really good, and to maybe be more specific to the people that this main video is going out to, because I have got a large network, and rather than waffle, I'm just going to quickly say those people that post the Facebook, LinkedIn's becoming like Facebook. Well, actually, funny enough, it's people that make business, it's personalities that make business, and if someone wants to express themselves in a different formula on LinkedIn, which is defined by Wiki as a social platform, and it is, while it's professional, it is business. You don't turn into drones when you go into work and turn into a different personality. You were put in those businesses because you've got a personality, so you might as well use it instead of just being the same boring drab people, and just go with the flow, with the rhythm of what is being seen in front of you on your wall within LinkedIn, because that's just bollocks. So I'm pretty sure for that video, and been to the gym this morning, so that's got everything. I mean, I don't know what I'm going to do now for the rest of the day, but anyway, I hope everyone has a really great day.